Alright, what's going on guys? My name is Naz and welcome to the Spooling Up channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is installing an oversized turbo inlet pipe to the Mark 4 Golf GTI, hoping to get a quicker spool on the turbo. And then in terms of modifications for the inlet side, that's pretty much done for now. Some people say it's the gateway to modifying the 1.8 turbo. Upon reading up about this job, having a look online, watching a couple of videos, it's apparent that this is a really difficult job. Everybody's saying it's a complete pain. So I know what to expect already. I've been dreading fitting it all week, but I'm going to go for it now because I know that the gains are going to be good. Everybody's saying they've noticed a difference. So let's see what happens. Alright, so first things first, what you want to do is remove the air filter or airbox, whatever you have installed. This particular air filter, it's pretty annoying actually. I don't know why they do it, but one side is a 10mm and the other side is an Allen bolt, so it's quite annoying. I've already cracked this off because it's can be a bit of a pain. And then I'm gonna go ahead and remove the whole airbox, including the MAF sensor as well. It's easier to just leave it on there. Gonna remove everything and set it to the side for now. I'm gonna put it inside the car because I don't really want to let it get scratched on the floor. So get that assembly out of here. Got a lot more space. You can see the turbo inlet pipe going down, but at the moment can't see the turbo. Right guys, so the next thing I'm going to do is remove this engine cover. It should give me a lot more room. What you want to do with these is you literally just want to give them a quarter of a turn and they pop up. And then once you've done all of them, this cover should be nice and easy to remove. Just go for that. There we go. Right guys, so what you want to do is remove any of the vacuum hoses from this standard turbo inlet pipe, ready to put onto the new one. If there's anything that you can't get off while this is in situ, you can actually undo the clips that attach it to the engine, pull off the turbo inlet pipe and then try and undo it once it's off, because some of these clips are absolute pain. These ones actually, there are special pliers for these, which I don't have, but I was able to flick this tab over and undo it with just pliers and a screwdriver. Go for this one next. Just be careful because after a while things in the engine bay become brittle plastics, so just be aware that you could end up snapping things if you're a bit too rough. So just take your time. I've seen over and over again people saying that this possibly requires 2 men and a lot of patience, but if it suits you to do it by yourself and you could do it by yourself, then you may as well go for it. Right guys, so there are several problems that you apparently encounter doing this job. One of them is one of the coolant pipes in the engine is actually made of metal. I'll just show it to you now. It is this one right behind the turbo inlet pipe here. So basically what it is the new one doesn't have enough room to fit in there behind it where the OEM one is. So people are saying that there's a bracket that attaches to the engine just down here that you can actually undo, and it should give you some more play with the pipe, and you can also bend it. Some people cut it and reattach it with silicone. I don't really want to do that because it seems like a bit of a bodge to me. Even bending is a bodge, but I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do with it. I've decided to go ahead and try and undo this bracket just to see if I can get some more movement on that coolant pipe. Right, so I've undone that bracket now, and as you can see there's a whole lot more play in that pipe, and I'm thinking that this is how people bend it. So I'm gonna see what I can do first, man. It's quite flat here. It's like they flattened it already so that it fits a bit easier around the standard one, but it actually turns to rubber further up here, these heater matrix pipes. Right, so it's now time to jack the car up and detach the pipe from the bottom. So I'm just gonna go ahead and crack these wheels off before I get the car in the air, because now it's time, now that it's all jacked up and it's on an axle stand as well, it's time to use the lazy man's tool. Get this wheel off. Gosh. Okay, here we go. Time to do the difficult part now. I'd like to make this clear: when your jack is pretty much a toy, it won't give you enough height to get underneath the car comfortably, but I'm gonna try and show you exactly where this hex bolt is that you need to undo. It's right there. Here, it's illuminated at the minute, we have the turbocharger, and there we have the hex bolt that we need to undo to get the rest of the turbo inlet pipe off. It's very cramped down here, but should be able to do that without much trouble. Right guys, so there's a turbo inlet pipe going down there. To undo the hex bolt that holds it in, I think it's probably going to be best to do it from underneath. Right guys, so I'm not too sure how easy this is going to be to see from here, but you can actually undo this from the top if you wanted to. There is the hex bolt that attaches the pipe to the turbo, so I'm gonna go ahead now and try and undo that. I can actually undo it from the top. Everyone seems to have undone it from the bottom, but I can see it from the top with this mirror, and I felt it with my fingers, so I'm gonna crack it off from here, man. Try and save myself a bit of aggro. Right, so hopefully you can see this. Now, got an Allen key on it, just there. Gonna wind that out, take it off, pull the pipe off, and then start trying to get this new one on. Guys, I've cracked this off enough to start undoing it by hand. There we go. That is what is holding on the turbo inlet pipe from the bottom. So now I should be able to free this up. One more pipe down there that I'll have to free up as well. Didn't see it earlier, but I'll get that off now. Yes. Okay, so let me give you a little tip, because I don't have the particular pliers that are able to undo these clips. I've sort of devised my own way to do them. What I do is I get that tab there. Once you've bent it, you're able to just use a screwdriver to flick the clip off. Now that that is bent, back into the normal position. This should flick off, there we go. And then our hose comes off. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have the original OEM turbo inlet pipe. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit of oil in there. But other than that, there's literally nothing. This car is not a high mileage car. I do not expect the turbo to be leaking oil. There we go, Austria. Here it is. It's quite small. Now this is the reason why everybody has trouble putting the new one on, because this one has such an extreme angle on it, it's able to fit in the small gap. I'm just going to get the new one now to show you guys what it looks like. Here we have the new turbo inlet pipe, and I've got used to the size of it now, but when I first opened the package, I couldn't believe how big it was. It is absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Look at that. Look at that pipe diameter there. This is actually 80 millimeters. Although I have a 70 millimeter MAF, I'm going to be using just a silicone spacer just to wedge in there to make up the size difference. Right, this is a Creation Motorsports TIP or turbo inlet pipe, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why I bought this one is because it's the largest one that you can buy that fits onto a KO3S. The other ones like the Badger and a few other brands that there are out there, you can't get one with a 80 millimeter diameter that goes onto a KO3. They only make them to go onto KO4s or KO4 hybrids. So this is the reason why I went with this one, and this is the reason why it's so difficult to fit. It's much larger, and obviously everything's designed to sort of fit together in this engine bay with OEM parts. All of a sudden these aftermarket bits making things a lot more difficult, so may need to do some cutting and stuff, but we'll have a look and see how it goes. Guys, don't be fooled, it is not on. Look how far over it is. It's going to require a lot of squeezing to get it on. Now I see what people were talking about, but everything here is quite long. So I'm guessing they give you all of the extra space to work with so that you can cut it. Do think it is going to require some cutting, but I'm going to see what I can do anyway. Right guys, this is an indefinite struggle. You can see how close I am. Very close to the turbo at the minute. We're almost there. So close. You can just see the lip of the turbo sticking out there. So I'm going to go for the final push, hopefully get this on. What I have done is I've basically just tried my best to slide it in. Been bending those coolant pipes out of the way just to get, they've got a bit of flex on them at the minute. Hopefully once I get it on I can flex them back a touch. But I've done what's been recommended by loads of people as well, and I've actually put some silicone grease on the pipe to try and help it slide in. And that seems to have helped a lot. So far I haven't cut it. Let's see how it goes for the rest of it now. Guys, we're almost there. We are almost there. The pipe is almost all the way on. Just gonna need a little bit more persuasion, I think, on the bottom half. See if I can slide it on. Right guys, so at this present time, the turbo inlet pipe is on. Down at the bottom on the turbo, after a lot of trouble, I ended up actually soaking the bottom corner here of this pipe in a little bit of hot water just to soften it up so it could slide past the gearbox cables a little easier. It's now on the turbo. I'm happy that I didn't have to cut it to get it to fit on, because I know some people have had to cut it. So now that that's on there, I'm able to go back up to the top and connect everything back up. The only thing about this though is because the end of the turbo doesn't have a lip on it, when you do this Jubilee clip up to a certain tightness, the whole hose and clip begin to slip off. I don't know whether the end of the turbo is actually tapered. I'd think not, but that's what seems to happen anyway, so just be careful doing that. Right guys, so after a lot of time, a lot of struggling and a good few problems, the new turbo inlet pipe, turbo inlet hose, tip, whatever you want to call it, is now on the car. I have started it up as well already. Thank God I don't have any warning lights on the dash. The next thing to do is to go and take it for a spin. First of all, I'm gonna have to go and get changed because my back is absolutely filthy from laying on the floor. Once that's done, I'll quickly go for a spin, see what happens, see if I can tell any difference. People are saying you get a quicker spool up on the turbo, and some people say it's the gateway mod to modifying the 1.8 turbo, so let's jump in and see what happens. Right guys, so first test drive since the new turbo inlet pipe's been installed, and I can say I have noticed the difference. Not massively, but it's just a lot more responsive. And the only thing I'm worried about is it is fitted, but it seems to be fitted under quite a lot of tension. I don't really think anyone has managed to make a turbo inlet pipe for this car that just goes straight on without any grief. Just seems like one of those things that's really difficult to design. It's wet at the minute, so it's plenty of wheel spin action. I'm not too sure whether it sounds louder either. Yeah, it's sounding pretty good at the minute. The only thing that's missing is an exhaust note, because these are quite quiet with a standard exhaust. Was thinking to fit a Miltech maybe, with R32 bumpers, so an R32 style exhaust for this GTI. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how money goes as well, because the exhaust systems tend to be quite expensive. Not too sure how easy or how difficult it's going to be to fit, but I'll certainly be thinking about giving that a go myself. But yeah, for me to fit that Miltech exhaust or an R32 style exhaust, the only thing is that I'm going to have the rear bumper as well to go with it. Obviously it's not going to fit this standard one, so be thinking about seeing if I can purchase one of those first. But it's pulling so well. I don't know whether I've noticed it more because I haven't driven the car for a while, but it seems to be really responsive, and just with a little bit of throttle you can hear the turbo begin to whistle. Obviously I've got the Ram air filter fitted as well, which must make some sort of a difference. Not too sure how many more mods I'm gonna have done to this before I get it mapped. I do ideally want to get a full turbo back exhaust system fitted as well, and an intercooler. And for me, that would be when I'd want to be getting it mapped, but I'll see how it behaves. If I think it needs a map earlier, then I'll definitely get that done as well. But yeah, there's plenty more mods in the pipeline for this. So like I said, I'm looking for this to be my toy. I've got the BMW to sort of drive when I want to go long distances and just cruise or whatever. And then the next video I upload should be on the Fiesta XR2. I've got a few little bits for that. It is slow progress, but it will get there eventually. Slow progress is better than no progress. So guys, if you've enjoyed the video on the installation of the turbo inlet pipe, then make sure you stay tuned to the Spooling Up channel for more videos. Thanks for coming to watch this one, and if you are interested, then don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe, and give me a little like as well if you wouldn't mind, because it all helps. But yeah, thanks for watching guys.